My name is Brett Ravitz. I am currently the Vice President of Merchandising for the Ravitz Family Market ShopRite. I got into the supermarket business at a very young age when I'm probably not even a legal worker at the time. I was so young. We would bag groceries for customers, push carts, help customers to their car. And, ever since then, I had that bug to be in this business with my family. To own a business in the community that I live, and to be able to help the community the way that I've been raised to do, it's truly a blessing. I'm fortunate to be able to do it, and it means a lot to me. It means a lot to my family, my brothers, their families. It's ingrained in our blood. The Ravitz Family Foundation was started by my grandparents. We're helping local organizations that otherwise don't get that help. At some point in time, Alice met my father and was talking to him about Beyond Celiac. And at that time, my oldest daughter, who was 2 at the time, was just diagnosed with celiac disease. And that became our personal connection. And I met with Alice, and I was immediately just in love with the idea of being able to partner with a group that was focusing on something that was so new to me. And I remember me and my wife, we were lost in this world of what's gluten-free for our daughter. And if you fast forward a few years later, our other daughter was diagnosed with celiac disease, and just our experience with Beyond Celiac and the knowledge that they gave to us and really made the second experience with diagnosis a whole lot easier. If we go back in time to when Haley, my older daughter, was diagnosed, every other night, like clockwork, in the middle of the night, she would wake up throwing up. We'd run into her room and we would pick her up and bring her to the bathtub, and just like that, she'd be throwing up. And we had no idea what was wrong with her. It took a couple months to get a diagnosis, and it was scary. And if I go forward a little bit further after diagnosis, we got the list of all the ingredients and the foods that are safe for her. And I went to ShopRite, the store that I'm in charge of merchandising, and I had no idea where to go. Walking into my own store and not knowing where to buy the food was a pretty scary experience. It meant a few things. It meant I had a lot of work to do, but I also, for our home life, my wife and I had a lot to learn about how to take care of our child and then down the road further, both of our kids. And I think that's upon diagnosis, that became so common with people that would reach out to me, because a lot of people found out that my kids have celiac. So there were customers, and even people that weren't our customers would reach out to me for advice on where to start. Everybody says it's just a diet and it's not the worst thing in the world. And I guess there's some truth to that, but it's not just a diet. There's things that we just can't do, or there are things that we just have to think about that no one else has to think about. Raising children with celiac disease at home is okay. It's doable. We get by really well. But it's when you're on the road and you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And a lot of people don't think about that. But when you don't know what's going on in that kitchen at the restaurant that is preparing your kid's food, no matter how specific you are with the server, anything can happen, and it has happened. And that's really the reason why a cure is so necessary, so that those suffering from celiac disease have the ultimate answer. One of the sadder moments of raising 2 children with celiac disease, one was there was an attack, and my youngest daughter was throwing up, and probably around the 8th round of throwing up, she looked at me and she said, "Why do I have this?" To hear that and tell her that it's going to be okay, it's a tough pill to swallow. Also, when your kid doesn't want to go to a restaurant for fear of getting sick, or doesn't want to go on a vacation because it could happen again, and suffering through that anxiety because it's real, having to parent your way through that is really difficult. And when I hear that we could have a cure, it's really the light at the end of the tunnel that I'm hoping for, and will make the lives of my kids infinitely better.